Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Get Fit Within 30 with me, Nick Roberts. Now, we're going to do this a little bit different to the episode previous, okay? This isn't going to be in a circuit format. What we're going to do here is we're going to focus on such exercises with drop sets in, with supersets in, and we're going to focus on making sure that, we are still hitting all the key elements, getting our heart rate elevated enough that we are still putting ourselves into those sort of zones that are going to help burn that fat, but also make sure that we do get a little bit of a sweat on and make sure that we feel like we have done something. Okay, so I'm going to dive straight into it. Obviously, as I always say, we should always be doing a bit of a warm-up. That can be anything. That can be some star jumps, some skip and rope. That can be some stretches. But for this format, I do have the stretching guides. What I want you to do is I want you to just get straight in after doing your warm-ups. Okay, so first exercise we're going to go in. We're going to do this as a superset. Now, I'm going to talk you through these as we do them as well. So this first one is going to be a narrow squat superset with a wide leg squat. Narrow squat, straightforward, straight simple. With both of these exercises, we're going to do 12 to 15 reps, okay? Find your own comfort here. I'll probably go more towards the 15 reps, and we're doing 3 sets of this with 1.5 minutes rest in between each exercise, okay? Each set. Now, I have my watch ready to start the timer. Make sure you've got that. If you haven't at this minute, pause the screen for yourself right now. Make sure you've got your timer ready and a bottle of water. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, with a narrow squat, what we need to make sure is that our knees and legs are a little bit more in central as opposed to, shoulder width apart. So, going straight down, 12 to 15 reps. Remember, let's start the session now. Now, straight after your 15, into your wide leg. Again, straight in. Now, these are a little bit further apart from shoulder width. And straight up, and we start our watch for the timer. 1.5 minutes, and then we go again. Remember to make sure you are drinking a lot of water during these sessions. I always suggest walking it off a little bit, make sure your legs feel loose. One thing I'd always suggest as well, clothing wise, if you're doing this from the comfort of your own home, wear something loose, don't wear something so tight. You're gonna heat up quicker, mistake I've made. You're gonna heat up a little bit quick, and you're also gonna feel every bit of sweat on you, which can be quite uncomfortable for some people. Now, a big mistake some people do make as well is they drink too much water during their session. I think I've touched on this before, if we're drinking loads of water, obviously you're going to need to go to the toilet, could ruin the session, but you're going to feel it in your stomach a lot. It's going to be bouncing around, jiggling around, no one wants that. 15 seconds to go, and we're straight in again. As always, I'm wearing my microphone band, checking my effort levels. So if you ever see me looking to the right, purely why I'm looking at my screen there. Okay, let's go again. Into your wide. Pause, rest, 1.5 minutes. That's set 2. One more set of these and move to the next exercise. Remember, water. Well, I've said in previous weeks as well, you know, if you've got other people with you, get them involved. You know, during your rest, they could be doing their set. You're going to find that's a quite nice way to do it as well, because you can motivate each other, bounce off each other, and your rest feels that little bit more rested, I suppose, watching someone else suffer. What you'll notice as well with some of my squats is you will see me quite often trying to adjust my footwork. That's important, especially when you are doing a squat. Making sure that, you know, your feet aren't too out, you also don't want to be too far in. Different variation of an exercise altogether that. 30 seconds left to go. Another thing as well I always find dead important, you'll see some people squat probably like that, hands behind their heads, a little more of a prison squat. Some people think that is actually just a squat. It's a different variation altogether. I always put my hands close together and go down as if I was holding a weight or something. Because later down the line, when you are using weights, it makes that so much easier to get comfortable. 5 seconds left, okay. Let's go. Last set on these, narrow squats. Straight as the wide. Again, 1 minute 30 for the next exercise, which is going to be glute kickbacks. We'll do 4 sets of them, 12 to 15 reps again, with a 45-second rest. Just to give you updated, effort level right now is about 79%. So I'm in what we call the green zone. Yellow zone would be the next zone. And that yellow zone is approaching max sort of effort. So red's the top zone, you know, get scored in red with the my zone situation with our effort levels, because, you know, for one, it can kind of like advertise people push themselves far too far. It's always great to obviously push ourselves, but there is a limit. We need to look at active recovery. We need to look at making sure that, you know, during these sessions, you're doing enough, but also not doing too much that you're going to damage yourself and not be able to recover, you know, for the next few workouts you've got pending for the next week. We've got 30 seconds left. I want to say this time now, this part, you know, we're exercise 1 in, and, you know, it's probably more than you've probably done before. You might find yourself in an uncomfortable position. That might really took it out of you. Like I said, you know, there's people with all sorts of abilities that even doing that can make them really feel, you know, done in a bit. So you've got to give yourself a pat on the back for getting exercise 1 in, okay? This will get easier, it'll get better as the weeks go on, and you're going to transform in front of your eyes. Okay, glute kickbacks. Before I go into this one, just want to point out you can do these off the wall. If you're on the wall, make it a bit easier, just extend your leg back. Okay, now I'm doing these 12 to 15 reps. I'm going to do these off the floor. Now, when I come forward a bit, straight up. I'm going to do 1 leg at a time. Swap legs, same again. It might feel different on each leg, don't worry. Get the exercise done and see what you could have adjusted. Like I said, 45 seconds rest on this one. A little bit less because it's not as, it's a single exercise. With the set 1, we're obviously doing 2 exercises back to back. That's what we call a superset. You don't need as long to recover on this one. Also want to keep our heart rate high. Make sure that we are getting the sweat on and we are burning them calories. Now with the glute kickbacks, you might find again, with every exercise, find how it feels comfortable. Make sure you get your positioning right. My right side feels a lot more different to my left. I'm more comfortable on the left. On the right, probably should have adjusted my hip a little bit more and made sure that my leg is going a little bit more straight up. All right, let's go again. Swap legs. Back up, reset and go again. Remember, always ensure you feel stretched, feels nice. This is one of my favourite ones. Stand up onto your knees, feel it stretch in the quad. Always feels quite nice that. "20 seconds rest left. What a lot of people tend to do as well, a lot of clients I work with one-to-one, they'll record these sessions and watch themselves back, which I think is always a great tool to understand where your kind of full position is and how exactly you could improve. Let's go again. Swap legs. Another set down, 1 left to go. Now you're doing brilliant to get to this point. Absolutely brilliant. A lot of people give in, they start exercise, they start realising the comfort of their own home, it's not really the environment for them, and they think, fuck it, I'll come back. Now at this point, you've started, don't pack it in. Once you're done, you're going to feel so much better for it. You know what, we're exercise 2 in. You've got another 3 to go. It's not going to be the worst. Trust me, there's going to be much worse further down the line. Let's start here, nice and easy. Coast our way through. Effort 71. Bit of water. Ready for the last set. Swap legs. Now in between every exercise, we'll do 1 minute 30 rest, okay? We're going to high knees next. It's going to be a little bit more of an intense one. This can be a little bit more, faster pace. For anyone who's watching and taking part, if the high knees are a little bit too much for you and you can't really keep the pace, we'll go for 15 seconds. Do them more stationary, I'll show you that now. Bit of water. Now I'm going to do them like this, okay? You might just need to do that. Bring them up high as you can. Hit your hands with some force that it brings your hands up. Okay. Anyone else who can do them, or if you just want to kind of push yourself a little bit further, same sort of tempo I'm going to go, fast. It's important to keep your heart rate up. And you can do it. I know you can do it. Okay, exercise 3. We're going to do 35 seconds to go for rest. So this is going to be the one that really probably, you're going to feel this now. You're going to feel your heart rate going up. You're going to feel yourself getting a little bit hotter, a bit more of a sweat on. If you're not someone like me who sweats quite easy. Got 2 sets of these, okay? Said this is kind of, beginner stage, we're just starting out. Later down the line as we adapt these sorts of sessions when I'm working with clients. This where it comes to this, and clients will be doing like 4, 5, 6 sets of this, or maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute. Here, we're going to start off 15 seconds, okay? Let's go. Always ensure your time is here, so you know exactly where you need to stop and go. Stop, and then you rest. I'm going to do a rest of 30 seconds on that. I've changed my mind, I'm going to do 3 sets. Now this is the sort of exercise might make you feel a bit stupid. You don't need a living room, close your curtains if you need to. But you know what? You're doing it for the best of yourself. Don't stress about anyone else. I always say it. If people think you look stupid, or you think you look stupid, and someone's watching, you're only bettering yourself. In 12 months' time, you're going to thank yourself for it. Ready to go again? Let's go. Halfway. You might feel your pace come off as well a little bit. Don't stress, don't panic. I'm at F86. So that's getting me going. It's going to be getting you going. But we're getting fit together, okay? Let's do it. Got 1 set left on these. If you need to take a little bit longer rest, do it 45 seconds. Don't go much higher, okay? Are we ready? Let's go. Last one. Halfway. Minute and a half rest. I'm moving on to the plank now. Different variation of just the plank. We're supersetting it. Side plank. You might feel like you look stupid when you do these exercises. And I touched on it before, and I'll always touch on this. If you feel you look stupid, right, you're doing something right. Because exercise isn't glamorous. As much as you might see it on social media, it's not the glamorized sort of, feel that some people make it. Or the makeup, or, the the lads in the tight tops, abs popping out, hair up in a bun. It's not all kind of, you know, glitz and glam. You should be getting sweaty, you should be getting messy. You shouldn't even care about what you wear to the gym or to do exercise in, okay? If you are thinking about that too much, you're probably not going to put no effort into your session, okay? So do not worry, do not stress. You're doing this for you, it's for your health, longevity, you know, some people are doing it for wealth, you know, if your family, friends. Ultimately, the most important part is you are doing this for you, okay? I always say, to everyone I work with, if you're not doing this for yourself, it's never gonna work. You need to want it. Okay, so this is where we're going into the plank, 20 seconds, onto a side plank, 20 seconds, the other side, 20 seconds, a minute altogether. Let's do this together. Let's go. Now again, if you want to do this on your hands, if it makes it a little bit easier for you to start off, by all means do that. Side plank. Make it a little bit easier for yourself. Put a timer in front of you, so it's not having to do what I'm doing. Keep yourself up. Don't let yourself drop off too much. Swap sides. Some people like to do this, some people like to do this, some people this. But, you know, ultimately it doesn't really matter. Just get the side plank done. Stop there, we're doing this 3 times over, okay? We're gonna do 2 1 minute. We're gonna do a minute rest, and then we're gonna go again. A lot of people I speak with, a lot of people I work with, they struggle with the plank. You know, it's something that doesn't feel comfortable to them. I say to everyone, whether it's a push up, whether it's a press up, whether it's a, you know, a pull over, a pull up, whatever it is you're doing, repetitive behaviours, repetitive habits are going to ultimately allow you to complete that a lot easier, a lot more comfortable. The more you try it, the more effort you put in, the easier it gets. It goes for everything in life. I'm not going to get all philosophical on you, but we'll save that for another one. 15 seconds to go. Sometimes as well, another problem clients have is they feel like the rest's going on too long. Now trust me, I have carefully timed these rest sessions, so use them wisely. Let's go again, okay. Also, no cheating when you do these, so you're using a stopwatch. If you don't get down to the floor and you see you watch it 2 seconds, you still have an extra 2 seconds to do on that plank. Let's go. Three, 2, 1. Next side, last side. Once this is done, we rest. 1 minute, and we go again, one final time. I do promise, these do get easier for you the more you practice. One minute rest. We go again. Final lap. That was the last exercise. Make it nice and easy for you with the air bikes. 20 seconds times 3. Just think about it, when you put them together, it's only 1 minute's worth of exercise. You know, take your own pace. You don't have to go at it, you know, all guns blazing. You see some people do the high knees and, you know, silly fast, silly fast. Like I said to you before, exercise at the high knees, everything's got a variable, you know, everything's got something to change. Make everything a little bit easier for yourself. Right, you're starting off. You might want to repeat this session, you know, 2-3 times before you move on to the next episode, and that's absolutely fine as well. I always say, master your craft, master it, wake up, no do you have to, follow something, you could do it yourself off the top of your head, because you've ingrained it into the ear. Let's go. Last set. Three, 2, 1, onto the side. You'll sometimes find if you follow the clock, you follow the timer, you can feel so much slower. Everyone knows that when they're in work, they look the clock watching, doesn't seem to move. Last side. Got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. 90-second rest, and then we're moving into air bikes. Always make sure as well, if you're not training fasted, first thing in the morning, if you're going to train fasted, I'd always suggest doing it first thing in the morning. Don't get yourself like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon and try and do this sort of session. I'd then save yourself for the evening. Make sure you've got some food in yourself. But also don't do it too close to don't do it too close to actually having food, so you might make you feel sick. If that's the case, you start to feel it, you'll feel it in session 1, with exercise 1, stop, go again later on. You're not failing if you're having to move it, you're failing if you're not attempting. I want to ensure we're trying to get these sessions under the 30 minutes. So, again, you might need to take 45 minutes. You might need that extra bit of rest. You might need that, that exercise, do the set, extra bit of recovery time. Absolutely fine, take it at your own pace. But for me, for us, on this video purpose, I'm going to keep them, to the time. Air bikes, right? Okay. Head up. Do them a little bit different. Some people, we're going to do them. Now that's one of the harder ones for checking your timer, so maybe mental note. We're going to do one more of them. Minutes rest, we're not going to take the 90 seconds. We're going to go. Again, a lot of exercise is based on, the person, as long as you're doing something getting your heart rate up, don't feel too judged on yourself by other people. Progressively, you'll get better each week. Your form will get better. But ultimately as well, what you're doing now during this session, ask yourself, is it more than you did last week? Is it more than you did yesterday? The answer's 9 times out of 10 going to be yes. So don't stress, don't beat yourself up. If you feel like you're not doing something right, you're doing something, okay? We can look at form. If you're one of my clients, if you send me videos, we can look at it, we can analyse it. I'm always there to make sure that you are completing these sessions to the best of your ability. But remember, it's that, your ability. You can't do it at my ability, you can't do it at Jenny's ability, it's your ability. Let's go again. Last one. Five seconds to go. Well done. So you completed session 2. Meet me again for the next episode Fit in 30 with Nick.